Black Kamala Harris voters, I'm going to make you feel good and understand what's really going on. So pay attention, my fellow liberals and leftists. Let's go. First of all, I'm going to talk about the Trump formula. Then I'm going to talk about the good news behind, well, the bad news. I'm going to talk about the bad news. Then I'm going to talk about the good news behind the Trump formula and what's happened in the last 3 days. First of all, I want to make sure that you subscribe right here on this channel. Please subscribe. Just subscribe. I just started this channel, and it is totally worth your time. I'm not giving you news. I'm giving you context, and you need this, black folks. Trust me. Here's the deal. First of all, let's talk about the Trump formula. The Trump formula is this. He has a playbook. He has a score. He has a context, and he has people who are fighting him every day. Okay? And what he tries to do in the playbook is, if he loses on lower courts, appeal it and take it to the Supreme Court. The problem that we've just seen in the last weekend is that this fool is going against the Supreme Court. And so far, the Supreme Court hadn't done anything, but I'm going to explain to you what's coming. And get excited. Wait till the end. Here's the thing I want you to understand. If the Supreme Court or no other courts respond, and I'll explain what no other court means in a minute, don't respond, then they're going to let him crap all over, and he's going to try to take out the other court cases he lost. Now, let's bring that to the score. That's the playbook. The score right now is he's 3-47. Out of 50 judgments, he's lost 47. But he's already trumped all over the Garcia case because he won't bring the boy back, claiming that he ain't American and he can't let him go, and El Salvadorian president, like, he can't let him go neither. It's a bunch of bull. Trying to say he's not even American or a Maryland resident. It's just real ugly, real ugly. But there's good news coming down the line here. A little more bad news. He's also trumped over the Associated Press. The Associated Press won a ruling saying, hey, you have every right to be at the White House press conference, including the one with El Salvador. They denied them access, as well as they have rights to be on Air Force One with the rest of the press. And they're denying them. So out of 47, they're denying two cases here. Will they get away with it? Here's the interesting part about that. Well, before I go there, historically, they're trying to do the context of say this shocking thing to either manipulate you into not looking at things like Signalgate, like the economy, or they're trying to shock and awe you to believe that they have power that they don't actually have. The fourth thing is that they got people fighting back. 23 Democratic states that consist of AGs, attorney generals, and governors, nonprofits like ACLU, and the federal judges themselves. And they all have been fighting and winning up until they just resisted. They did a big resist, trying to fight back, and it's been ugly. Here's the good news. This is the very good news. Let's say the Supreme Court does nothing. Though they have to stand on business. They got to put up or shut up, hold somebody in contempt. But let's say they do nothing. You think the other 700 federal judges are going to do nothing? Hear me out here. Supreme Court only takes 1% of the cases in America, even for presidents. I told you that there was only a handful, I didn't tell you this, but there's only a handful of those 47 cases that were Supreme Court cases. The rest were lower courts. That's 700 judges. You think they're going to react just like that? Now, you could believe that, but we see judges like Boasberg who scared the hell out of Trump. He's going up against a whole lot of law. Somebody going to hold that boy in contempt. Here's the way I think it's going down. Sheenan, I'm going to mess up her name, Sheenan. Judge Sheenan, who Supreme Court kicked the case down to with Garcia. She said, bring that boy back. Bring Garcia back. Bring him back. And the Supreme Court kicked it down 9-0, right? I think she's going to be talking to the DOJ this week about, hey, your language, it ain't working. I'm going to hold you in contempt. Contempt means the lawyers are going to be in contempt. Honestly, Tom Homan and Kristi Noem need to be arrested. But I think them being in contempt is going to be bad. You might say, what does contempt mean? Well, they can get federal police of any kind to arrest, put a warrant out on people and arrest them. Yes, they can. And you might say, well, Bondi's over the marshals. Yeah, but you don't understand. Federal judges and attorneys have told me this. They can get anybody who's a federal cop, go and arrest. And remember this about cops. There are 3 types of cops I keep repeatedly saying. There's the pro-Trump, there's the anti-Trump, and then there's those Dudley Do-Right people who don't care either way, who coming for that ass. We got a good shot. Our 700 judges, we got a good shot. Somebody gonna stand on business. Somebody. Because they know what's at stake. If they don't, our whole system crumbles. They are basically saying, walk all over us. And initially it looks like that, but I don't think it's going to end like that. Our justice system is slow, but it's definite. Hang in there. Hang in there. Did I earn your subscription? Hopefully so. I got more coming.